Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Graykowski, creator of the Better Brain Blueprint. This week we're talking about what can cause brain dysfunction. Now, if you look at this process, we talk about the 3 T's: trauma, toxicity, and thoughts. So if we have a brain trauma that affects you can obviously have a concussion, can create severe neurological problems. As you've probably seen from some of my videos before, my wife and I were in a horrific helicopter crash, and she suffered a traumatic brain injury. And a lot of the reasons why we do this Better Brain Academy is because of all the things that I learned in 30 years of practice, but also in the best doctors, the best research, the best treatments and remedies to create a healthier brain and nervous system. So there are certain things, if you get traumatized to the body, it can short circuit the nervous system. So it's important to always make sure that you do something to start to reset the nervous system. And we do that through our thinking, through how we're eating, certain actions, and certain movements, physical and mental exercises. Now, if we have toxicity, if you're actually constantly putting toxic chemicals in the body, the brain will start to store those up. One of the biggest challenges with Alzheimer's and dementia is the proteins start to get altered in a part of the brain called the hippocampus. Now, it's kind of a technical term, but what it means is that your brain can't remember things. Either short-term memory starts to go, and then it really starts to affect the function of the entire body. And our thoughts. If we are constantly thinking negative processes, we fire off a part of the nervous system that creates a stress response. It actually creates a fight or flight response. So there's a feedback loop that takes place in our body. And so the brain has to send the messages to the cells. 100% of the message from the brain has to send a message down to the cells. So this feedback loop sends a message back up. So this constant communication. The brain says, hey, liver cells, we need to start to reduce toxins in the body. We start to increase some circulation because there's certain foods that are coming through. We've got hormonal changes we've got to look at. The brain sends a message to the liver. The liver sends a feedback loop up to the brain. So there's this constant communication between the body. If you shut down the communication either from the brain sending the messages or the messages sending back up to the brain, it lowers the energy in the body. It actually creates dis-ease. One of the biggest things, if you look at the word subluxation, that means a lowered energy condition. Sub means like below the surface, like a submarine. Lux means light or energy. There is a light in our body. There's a light in every one of the cells. There's an energy. So we have to look at what energy and what information are we sending to the cells. We send energy and information through our thoughts, through what we eat, how we move our body. So it's important to look at giving the best amount of energy, the best amount of communication from the brain to the body. If there's a problem at the spinal level, it can affect the message to the brain. If there's a problem from the brain, it can actually affect the messages down the spinal tracts. So our posture is important, what we're thinking. So we want to reduce, if you've ever had a head trauma, make sure that you get your spine and nervous system checked. If you are increasing toxins within your body, make sure that you're doing some things to start to reduce that and eliminate toxins as much as possible, which we'll go into in more videos with how to reduce toxicity. And also, be really aware of what we're thinking. If we're constantly firing off and remembering things, and this feedback loop is a negative feedback loop, you're going to actually reduce your overall health. It creates all kinds of problems, and your body starts to fight against itself. So I want you to have 100% message from the brain, 100% expression of life flowing to the body through your posture, through reducing toxicity in the body, and start to think a little bit better. This is another Better Brain tip of the week. Reduce those toxins and the subluxations, and you'll have a much healthier life. See you next time.